I appreciate your support as I work towards reaching 1,000 subscribers. Every click, like, and share makes a huge difference for me. It's not just a number, it's a community. Your engagement helps me create better content and explore new ideas. Imagine the possibilities we can unlock together. So if you enjoy what you see, hit that like button and subscribe. Your support fuels my passion and drives me to keep improving. Let's dive into this journey together and make something amazing happen.
Today, we're diving into the fascinating connections between BRICS, the quantum financial system, and the Cabal, all through the lens of South Africa's current situation. BRICS, which includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is reshaping global economics, pushing back against Western dominance. Meanwhile, the quantum financial system promises a new era of transparency and fairness in finance. But how do these elements intertwine with the Cabal's influence? South Africa is at a crossroads, balancing its alliances and economic strategies. Understanding these dynamics is crucial as we witness a potential shift in global power. Let's explore the latest developments and what they mean for the future. So, have you heard about the BRICS nations and their financial game plan? They're working on a new payment system to break free from Western control. Imagine faster, blockchain-powered transactions across borders. And there's talk of a gold-backed currency. Sounds intriguing, right? They're aiming to reduce reliance on the USD and diversify their options. Plus, the new development bank is in the mix, supporting their vision. This could change the global financial landscape as we know it. Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning.
This is a CEO and a spokesperson from the IDT. That is the money in the bag, and that is Peter Louis Meyerberg, investigative journalist. You need to know what's going on here. The IDT, the Independent Development Trust, is part of the South African government, and their job each year is to spend billions of rand creating social welfare projects for things like clinics. IDT's CEO Tebogo Malaka is now on special leave after being implicated in an 836 million rand tender fraud scandal over providing oxygen to more than 50 clinics and hospitals across the country. And thanks to the incredible investigative journalism from the likes of Amabungane's Azara Karim and Daily Maverick's Peter Louis Meyerberg, we now as a country know about this scandal. And then on the 3rd of August, the IDT CEO and spokesperson met with Peter Louis Meyerberg and tried to bribe him with 60,000 rand in this Dior bag. And he caught it on camera. Here it is. The spokesperson opens up a bag, takes out a white Dior bag with 60,000 rand in it, lays it on the table. Peter Louis Meyerberg opens it up. It is stacked with 200 rand notes. He holds it just beneath the table to have a look, acts as though he's considering it, and then takes his phone, takes a photo of the bribe money, and then gets up and walks away, leaving it all on the table. They already knew they were screwed in that moment. He gives it back, gets up and walks away. They were already screwed. And look as they get up, the awkward, sheepish weirdness on their faces. They know that things have gone absolutely horribly wrong as they watch him walk away. You see there, pockets the bag, looks after him, gets up, and gets out of there. Nothing like this has ever been caught on camera in South Africa. Congratulations to Peter Louis Meyerberg, Daily Maverick, Azara Karim, Amabungane. Absolutely world-class journalism. We are so blessed to have people like this in our country, helping us uncover the truth of the skullduggery of the elites.
20 people, economists, lawyers, big names, who then go off and you would never hear from them again. Like the Zondo Commission. It appoints the Zondo Commission, spends R1 billion of taxpayers' money, 4 years, thousands of summonses, hundreds of witnesses, and nothing happens, okay? That's Cyril. He likes to appoint commissions to go off and bid. This time, it's him in the firing line face-to-face with Donald Trump. And as you rightly say, and as Tony Leon rightly points out, Cyril actually can't agree anything. He has no power. He has no ability. Whatever he wants, we have no idea. He's just this sock puppet made up of other people. You know, I always remember that, be careful what you wish for. because in the wings are Paul Mashatile, Fikile and Balula. And behind them is EFF and MK. And, maybe we look back at this and say, much as we do with Mbeki, we say, my God, he was better than we thought. I wish we had him back. Maybe we look back in 3 years' time and say, we had it reasonably good with Cyril. Look at what we've got now. I'm still a 4 out of 10 on South Africa. I met 3 people on the aeroplane and one guy here yesterday at the hotel, all of whom have left South Africa or are leaving South Africa. And they're sad. The guy I met here wants to go back.
Imagine if your Uber driver showed up 6 hours late in reverse and demanded a BEE compliance form before you could get in. That's not just a joke, that's South Africa's ports. Our economy is bleeding over 150 billion rand a year because our ports are run like 1980s Soviet tuck shop. Cape Town is ranked dead last in the world. Durban, not much better. This isn't incompetence, this is economic sabotage by design. Let's get into it. Stolen Ground 2 and 3 are slowly becoming a reality. Thank you to all who have donated thus far, but we still have a ways to go. Let's keep the momentum going. Help me expose the truth behind land grabs in South Africa as we look at Hermanus and Cabal. Follow the links in the description or pinned comment. BackaBuddy accepts donations from across the world. And now EFT details are also available in the description. Thank you for your support. It is greatly appreciated. And if you haven't checked out the first Stolen Ground documentary, a link to that is also in the description. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joe Emilio. Welcome to Newsflash. Thanks for tuning in. Out of 405 ports across the globe, Cape Town is proudly sitting at position 405.
Are you f***ing serious?
Yes, we're not just losing, we're losing with commitment. Durban, the pride of KZN, placed 398th, which means there are only 7 ports more dysfunctional than Durban. And I'm guessing one of them is a sandbar with a canoe. Now, if this were just a matter of rusty cranes and slow forklifts, we could call it a technical issue, but it's not. This is a full-blown ideological crisis. Because behind every delayed container, behind every blocked shipment of avocados or wine or car parts, there's not just a broken system, there's a choice, a political choice that says we'd rather protect the Cater economy than allow South Africans to succeed. The Transnet National Ports Authority, the monopoly that runs our ports, is like a restaurant that only serves burnt toast and then sues you if you bring your own lunch. They've engineered a logistics gridlock through 3 simple steps. Cater deployment failure, because why hire competent logistics experts when you can hire your cousin who once operated a wheelbarrow? Preferential procurement abuse, the government version of you scratch my back, I'll award your shell company a 300 million rand tender. BE induced inefficiency, where transformation means getting stuck in customs for 3 weeks. BE isn't empowering the majority, it's taxing them. It's strangling small businesses, blocking exports, and driving up prices for everyone, especially the poor. It's not economic empowerment when the economy has flatlined and the only people smiling are the ones signing inflated procurement contracts.
Sons of bitches.
Now imagine you're a private company and you want to say, hey, we'd like to help. We've got equipment, we've got expertise, we've got things moving, or we can get things moving. The ANC says, whoa, they're capitalist. Did you fill in the right quota paperwork? Do you have a BE level 1 certificate stapled to your left kidney?
Totally diabolical.
Private solutions are blocked by law and policy. Why? Because the anti-growth model favors control over competence, bureaucracy over merit, and crony socialism over value for money service delivery. This isn't transformation. This is racketeering with a diversity pamphlet. Preferential procurement isn't a lifeline for the disadvantaged. It's a death sentence for efficiency. It forces ports to buy from politically connected cronies. It destroys any notion of competitive pricing, and kills innovation faster than a load-shedding schedule. It's like asking the mafia to fix your plumbing. The pipes might be replaced, but they'll cost triple, explode randomly, and come with a monthly protection fee. And the worst part? We've normalized it. We've been so gaslit that people think wanting functional ports is anti-transformation. No, it's pro-survival. The Institute of Race Relations has just dropped their latest blueprint for growth. And guess what? Their revolutionary idea is, drumroll please, let the private sector help.
Shocker.
I know, shocking. The IR's plan includes privatizing ports and rail, hiring based on merit, free market solutions that actually work, creating a climate where investors don't run away screaming. It's like treating cancer with medicine instead of witchcraft and a strongly worded memo.
There's an idea.
Real transformation means competition, ownership, economic mobility, and good governance, not gatekeeping redistribution and caters with yachts. South Africa's infrastructure crisis isn't a challenge, it's a deliberate outcome. You don't accidentally design a system where ports are dysfunctional, rail has collapsed, power is intermittent, and water sometimes shows up on a Tuesday. This is not coincidence, it's the logical endpoint of central planning, anti-enterprise policies, and state capture economics. The goal is not growth, it's control. Control over contracts, control over who gets rich, control over who gets to try. And that's how you keep a nation poor, by blocking opportunity and punishing productivity. And let's be clear here, what we're seeing isn't just failure, it's the triumph of a terrible ideology. This is what happens when a government confuses transformation with tribalism, empowerment with extortion, and service delivery with state looting.
We are in shit, full stop.
If we want a better South Africa, we need to do more than replace the leaders. We need to replace the model. We need to break the monopoly, unleash competition, and reward merit. Let the private sector build. Let entrepreneurs lead. Let ports run like businesses, not like communist food lines. Because until then, every avocado stuck in Cape Town's harbor is just another symbol of how socialism starves nations.
Black people are not the original inhabitants of South Africa, which, in fact, they're realizing that now. When they claimed that they owned all the land, the original inhabitants, of whom there are not many left, said, excuse me, we were the original inhabitants, you guys were migrants here as well, which they were. Okay, the original inhabitants of Southern Africa are called the Khoisan. In the West, the Bushmen are Khoisan. Hottentots are Khoisan. But you can't use those words anymore, you now have to call them Khoisan, okay? All right, now, and they were the inhabitants of the whole of Southern Africa. So the whole of South Africa, at one stage, were Khoisan. The black people originated in what is now Cameroon. That's where they...
Hold on, Khoisan aren't black?
No.
What are they?
They're a completely separate ethnicity all on their own. In fact, if you look at them, they're kind of yellowy. They're a light brown yellow color,
right.
But they look more Asian than African. They do not consider themselves African.
Interesting.
When the white guys arrive in Cape Town, so 1652 is when Dutch guys arrived there. At that stage, you could have divided South Africa almost exactly 50-50, what's now South Africa. The western half of the country was entirely Khoisan. There were no black people there. None at all. Only Khoisan. So we Cape Towners, all that area, Khoisan people. The northern part of the country did have black people. They'd started arriving, and they were still migrating.
How long had they been there in the northern?
Well, it's a moot point, and people have debated it. It would seem that black people had probably started arriving in the northern parts of South Africa, maybe 1,000 years, something like that, about 1,000 years before whites got there, right up in the north. Okay, and they've been slowly moving south because it's an empty space. I mean, one of the things about Africa is it's very empty. Up until the 1950s, Africa was very empty. It's the population exploded because white colonists, the naughty white colonists, put hospitals there, and there's been this huge population explosion since the 1950s. But Africa was really very empty up until then. And so tribes moved around and just occupied new empty territory. So the guys coming down from the north, who called the Bantu, it's called the Bantu expansions when black people came out of the Cameroons. They'd been occupying South Africa and moving systematically south, down down the east coast
They were
of South Africa.
pastoralists, am I right?
Yeah, they were pastoralists, yeah. Whereas the Khoisan were hunter-gatherers. They were like aboriginals, okay, so they hadn't become pastoralists yet. The black guys are migrating down from the north and settling, doing exactly what white guys are doing. So white guys, the Dutch guys from Cape Town, were settling by moving westwards, eastwards. So the white guys are moving from Cape Town eastwards, and the black guys are moving down from the north. And they met at a place called the Fish River, which is now in the middle of South Africa, at a place called, it's still called border. Everybody in South Africa calls that part of the country the border, even though there's no border there at all anymore. But there was a river called the Fish River, which is where blacks and whites first encountered each other. And then it started 100 years of warfare between whites and the Xhosa, who were the tribe that they met there. So, okay, so at that point, that would have been in about 1700. So whites and blacks first encountered each other in 1700. Okay? So whites had already been there for 100 years at that point.
Finally, Gayton McKenzie is in the hot seat. And he's going up against none other than Liam Jacobs. Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner. The witty, the hilarious, the always entertaining, but no doubt a hard ass, the questioner, the interrogator, Liam Jacobs. For those of you who don't know, Liam Jacobs enjoys wrestling, so I thought I'd give him a little bit of an introduction like that. But anyway, let's get into it.
When people zone have our smaller skeletons.
Did I hear that correctly? Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Newsflash. I'm your host Jeremiah. Thanks for tuning in. And in the red corner, or maybe green corner, the man who everybody thinks is a saint, but I still have my doubts, Gayton McKenzie. Let's have a look.
What do you want me to say in as far as Little Pelican and Eugene is concerned?
So, Chairperson, to the public, then I put it, that it is very interesting that the minister is of a particular party, that the leader of the individuals conducting the interviews is that same political party, and ultimately the chairperson of that board then becomes the same political party. There is certainly, Chairperson, we must investigate.
What are you laughing about, Gayton? Why are you laughing? Why can't you answer the question?
Certainly, Chairperson, whether there is actual ethics that can be found in this, Chairperson, because in as much as there is a precedent for this, legally speaking, Chairperson, we must investigate the potential of a conflict of interest here, because we understand, Chairperson, we must understand the framework that certain parties operate in, Chairperson. When you operate in what is a dictatorial party, Chairperson, then you are bound to that leader in that party. When the leader can fire you as he pleases, Chairperson, when the leader has explicitly thrown his own members out of parliament, Chairperson, then we must talk, Chairperson. I'm still talking. I will not be point of order by honorable.
Hold on, you cannot describe how this meeting is going to be run. There's a chairperson in this meeting. If you want to be the chairperson,
Chairperson, as I was proceeding.
Can we have order in this meeting? Can we have honorable Liam Jacobs?
Did you see how frustrated this guy was? Like the chairperson, he was just like, "Oh my God, I can't take this anymore." It's frustration.
I'm tired, boss.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pausing here because I'm not going to watch this whole thing with you guys because it's long and tedious. But basically, one MP tries to disrupt the whole meeting, saying that there needs to be a point of order and what. And another MP comes to the defense of Jacobs, and then they start arguing for a little bit about point of orders. And then the one guy's like, "Oh, Jacobs can't say that," and the chairperson says, "No, he can say that." I want to get to McKenzie, or his answer to the question. So basically what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen, is the following. Gayton McKenzie ducking and diving. After 25 minutes of questioning, he still could not explain what his thinking behind his board appointment was or is. In this case, by his admission, Minister, Patriotic Alliance. Chairperson of Board Interview Panel, Patriotic Alliance. Chairperson of the Board, Patriotic Alliance. Where are the checks and balances? The lead interviewer is Political Alliance. The person who becomes chairperson is Political Alliance, all under a minister who is also Political Alliance. While the law allows the minister to constitute it all as such, clearly some some moral risk in the application of the law here. So in Gayton McKenzie's board, all of them are part of the Patriotic Alliance. And Liam is just pointing out that there could be a conflict of interest here, and he wants Gayton to basically answer, like, how did you come to this? Why is it like this? You know, aren't you worried about conflict of interest? And here's how Gayton replied.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I shall proceed. Chairperson, I'll come back to the rationale. In as much as the Act prescribes that the Minister can make those appointments, Chairperson, I want to understand his understanding as to why a member of the Patriotic Alliance became the Chairperson of the interview panel. That led, ultimately, to the Chairperson of the board being a member of the Patriotic Alliance as well, while he himself, as a Minister, is a member of the Patriotic Alliance. What is the rationale? He's not answering the question.
Chairperson, the honourable member says I'm not answering the question, but he's still busy asking the question. I am one person that's not in the habit of disturbing people while they speak. Right. I want to answer Honourable Liam nicely, but I want him to tell me just one thing so I have clarity. He said, I have thrown a member of the PA out of Parliament. Who's that member? So that when I answer on fact and not innuendos and gossip and lies.
But Minister, just a second. Just a second, just a second, Minister. That is the point I've made. Let's deal with the presentation. That is my concern. And in terms of the interrogation from the member pertaining to the party and their representation, well, that's a mindful consideration or question where there may or may not be a potential biasness. But I want it to be happen in a respectful manner where the member asks the question and the minister respond so that we can proceed. Thank you. Honorable Liam Jacobs, do you still want to respond, Honorable Minister?
No, but all I'm saying is my turn to respond.
Yes, please do.
But I have to be clear and fair on Honorable Jacobs. If you can say, he said here, before I come to what he said about the party I belong to, he said here that I have thrown out a member of the PA out of Parliament.
But that's nothing to do with the presentation.
Order, Chairperson.
No, Chairperson.
Order,
Who's asking the
Chairperson.
questions here, Chairperson?
Order, Chairperson.
The member of the legislature or the member of the executive, Chairperson?
Order,
I'm the one
Chairperson.
asking the questions here, Chairperson.
No, let me tell you, I'm the chairperson here. And we have received a presentation from the department. And we are dealing with governance of the department. It is nothing to do with who the minister has put out from Parliament. Let's deal with the presentation. Please.
Order, Chairperson.
Honorable Ntetwa.
Thank you, Chair. I don't remember Liam Jacobs stating a name of a person. It is allowed according to the rules that you can cast aspersion on a party. He didn't mention anybody or a particular person, but said a party that. So it's not a matter of debate. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for that, Honorable Ntetwa. I also haven't heard that. I don't know where the minister or when Honorable Jacobs have said that.
And that's the end of the clip. As you saw towards the end there, it just got, oh man. Gayton was definitely ducking and dodging because again, Liam was asking about his board structure. And Gayton is concerned about what Liam said earlier in a throwaway comment, basically. A comment that has nothing to do with the question that Liam is asking. But no, Gayton wants to harp on that and distract from the actual question. And it seems like it worked. It's maybe Liam will release a part 2 of this and I'll definitely cover it. But for now, it seems like Gayton, knowing Liam, he probably got right back to it. As of yet, Liam hasn't released a second part. I don't know if he is, but if he does, like I said, I will cover it. But this just shows how Gayton is, you know, dancing around the issue and trying to dodge it like the Matrix. And so apparently white South Africans are living their best lives. Peaceful, happy, free. You know, sipping rooibos behind electric fences while singing Kumbaya and dodging BRICS from the EFF. That's actually what our special envoy to America just told the world. And I don't know what's more shocking, the statement or the fact that he said it with a straight face. Let's get into it. Hello ladies and gents, my name is Joe Emilio. Welcome to Newsflash. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, here's a clip from Mkhize Jonas, the former Deputy Finance Minister, now the Special Presidential Envoy to the US. Let's have a look at what he said.
Because you must remember, South Africa at the moment, if you think about it, you look across the continent, we're the only country that still has a significant white population living peacefully and democratically, being able to say whatever they want to say without landing up in jail or anywhere else.
Did he just say white South Africans live peacefully under democracy and can say whatever they want without ending up in jail?
Liar.
Where do I even begin? Let's just get one thing clear. South Africa is a lot of things. Corrupt, beautiful, chaotic, dramatic, scenic, dangerous, hilarious. It's even broke. But peaceful? For anyone? Let alone white South Africans? That's next level propaganda. If white South Africans could say whatever they want, they wouldn't need to have statements like this. I'm not racist, but whispered like they're confessing to a murder. Let's look at a few real examples. Ronaldo Gauss, targeted for a video made 14 years ago, and by the way, that video was heavily edited and taken out of context. He was labeled as a racist, vilified by the media, and dragged by politicians, and even lost his job. Even the ombudsman found that IOL was in the wrong, but did anyone apologize? Of course not, because facts don't matter when the woke mob already smell blood. Hank's Pub, social media cried whites only bar faster than you can say defamation. At the time there was no evidence, no investigation, just public rage, vandalism, and politicians showing up for photo ops. But afterwards, turns out it wasn't racist at all once the investigation truly came out.
Why am I not surprised?
Bracken fell high. EFF stormed the school for private matric farewell. Pupils were threatened. Parents assaulted. The school was cleared by the courts, but not before being dragged through a media hell. Because narrative first and facts later. And let's not forget about the principal in the recent Wake case. That principal was painted as a racist monster before any investigation was done. He was cleared of wrongdoing, but you won't find that on the front page because there's no outrage profit in exoneration. So no, Jonas, in modern South Africa, white people don't live peacefully. They apologize preemptively for existing.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And let's visit the countryside, shall we? In 2023, 49 farm murders, and in 2024, already there are 55 farm murders. The elderly are beaten up, tortured, and often nothing is stolen. This isn't just crime, it's targeted brutality. And if you say that out loud, you're labeled as racist or worse, accused of inciting hate. Meanwhile, the ANC does not condemn the song Kill the Boer and calls it heritage. That's not peaceful, Mr. Jonas. That's psychological warfare disguised as social justice. And let's not forget BE, employment equity, preferential procurement, all dressed up as redress. But here's the truth. If you're white and poor in South Africa, there is zero support for you. You can be born after apartheid, raised in poverty, and still be told you don't qualify because you have the wrong skin. Imagine telling that to a poor kid in the slums in America. Sorry, Jamal, no scholarships for you. You're too black. The world would explode. But here in South Africa, it's policy. Peaceful democracy, where the law treats you like a pariah. That's not peace, that's institutionalized guilt. This isn't even about race anymore. It's about safety. South Africa has one of the highest murder and rape rates in the world. Police are underpaid, undertrained, and under the desk. And the average civilian lives behind 3-meter walls with alarms, dogs, panic buttons, and a prayer. You think that's peace? That's war with better branding.
I couldn't agree more.
Look, I get it. Jonas is a diplomat. His job is to make South Africa look good, but he shouldn't be doing it by gaslighting an entire population. The truth is, South Africa is a boiling pot of crime, corruption, and hypocrisy, with moments of hope and resilience sprinkled in. White South Africans, like all South Africans, deserve safety, opportunity, and dignity. Not propaganda, not exclusion, and definitely not silence. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to help me expose the truth behind land grabs in South Africa, don't forget to go and visit the BackaBuddy link in the description or the pinned comment. You can also visit stolenground.co.za if you want to know EFT details. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all this. Do you agree that the envoy is a little bit delusional? And while you're down there, leave a like on the video, share it far and wide, and also, no matter where you're watching this on whatever platform, drop a follow, drop a like, and a subscribe. With all that being said, ladies ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching your Newsflash.
At George H.W. Bush's funeral, a shocking event unfolded. Secret envelopes were handed out, warning deep state elites of impending arrests. These letters, tied to Q-Drop 2608, revealed a stunning confession from Bush himself during a military tribunal. He implicated numerous high-profile figures in serious human rights violations. The implications are staggering. A network of power players exposed, their secrets laid bare. This isn't just a conspiracy theory. It's a pivotal moment in uncovering the truth behind decades of hidden agendas. What does this mean for accountability and justice? The fallout could reshape our understanding of power in America.
With the aging globalist cabal of past presidents and politicians. It was awkward. But there was something else odd going on. It was noticed that several of the globalist political players received an unexpected letter inside of their program. Hillary Clinton was the only one who kept her poker face when looking at the mysterious letter. Former Vice President Joe Biden appeared to be distressed when his wife found his. Laura Bush had a look of anger and could barely keep from staring at hers. And when she showed it to Jeb Bush, as his deceased father was being carried in front of him, he was distressed enough to take his hand from his heart, and he looked rather troubled by what he saw. The internet is abuzz with what these mystery letters are all about. Many who hope to see justice served in our corrupt American system speculate that this could be a foreboding message to America's traitorous first families. One can only hope. Whatever they were, they certainly appear to be disturbing.
Reports are swirling that the White Hat Military Alliance has shut down all adrenochrome production facilities. Before they closed, the last batch was allegedly tainted with an HIV-modified COVID-19 strain, marking the elites guilty of crimes against humanity. Now, many of these wealthy individuals are reportedly experiencing severe withdrawal symptoms during this so-called COVID-19 scamdemic. We're talking about reversed effects, schizophrenia, rapid aging, and a drastic decline in both physical and mental health. It's a wild twist in a narrative that exposes the dark underbelly of Hollywood and its elite. The connections between SARS, HIV, and COVID-19 are more than just scientific. They're a reflection of a hidden world that many are just beginning to uncover.
I was the perfect person. I was like central casting.
Central casting, you can't cast it. What do you have? You don't have anybody in Hollywood that looks like these guys. These are central casting. If I'm doing a movie, I pick you, General Mattis. Vice President Pence, he's a real talent, a real guy, and he is central casting. Do we agree? Central casting. Our NRCC chair, Tom Emmer, this guy's like central casting. You couldn't pick a better guy in Hollywood. There's no actor. And he's central casting. Look at that guy, central casting. Judge Kavanaugh, who's central casting. Everyone is central casting. Central casting. Glasses, head, boom. He owns a hotel. Where is he? He's like central casting for ownership of a hotel. You talk central casting, these guys, you couldn't, I mean, it's incredible. They had a master sergeant there. I could take him right now, bring him to Hollywood, make a military movie, and he's the star of the movie. That happened once before, you know.
President Trump designated Gitmo for trials, Guam for trials, and Terra del Fuege for trials. So now we got Gitmo 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. And the trials have been going on since September 30th. 30 news reporters last year got a lottery ticket, and they're down at Gitmo, and they are watching the trials, and when it gets reported on, everyone will know. Everyone will know. Okay, but until then, nobody knows. Well, except for me. I've got the court transcripts from Hillary's trial. The evidence we pulled out from underground in Rockford, Illinois, John Brennan was just tried. And so was Podesta. Huma Abedin is being tried right now. She turned state's evidence on Hillary. And I'm going to tell a young lady in here, without everybody knowing who that is, that I got a great opportunity a little bit ago to meet an admiral of the United States Navy who is the chief judge at Gitmo. And it's Admiral Crandall. So I found that very prophetic. Probably no relation whatsoever, but I found it very prophetic, and I cried for days. And he had the privilege of trying Hillary. Anyway, this last year and a half has been pretty interesting.
Operation Warp Speed might have been more than just a vaccine rollout. What if it was a covert mission to unseal indictments for mass military arrests over crimes against humanity? Those televised vaccinations? Many looked staged with fake needles and wrinkled flags, symbols of treason. Could these have been lethal injections, eliminating actors or body doubles? This operation could also be a strategic move to dismantle Big Pharma, revealing a Mossad-linked depopulation agenda disguised as COVID-19 vaccines. The implications are staggering, raising questions about who's really in control and what the true narrative is.
Thanks, Rick. Next question. What do you mean exactly when you say this is the end of the end?
This is the final phase of the operation. For those of you who think the Q movement is a tinfoil hat-wearing conspiracy, switch off now if you're still here. I doubt you are. It's real. I've explained it's real. It's been going for 60 years, at least since Kennedy's death. It's been going well before that, in fact, this pushback, but in its latest phase. And this last counter-offensive started the year before Trump was elected. He was elected and he moved it forward. And the top level of filth that's been running the planet's been taken out. The middle order are now panicking and running. By middle order, I mean presidents and prime ministers. They're just middle order schmucks. Heads of departments in public service, for example, they are now panicking and running. They're all ratting on each other because there's been the knock at the door, and when they open the door, there's a man with a gun pointing at their face, an MP4, right here. And the reason they aim there is because it goes straight through to the back of the brain. You're dead before you hit the ground, and they get made an offer. And the offer is cooperate, and most of them do. So they're running and they're squealing on each other. The Masonic filth is now collapsing. All that's left, quote, are the useful idiots at the bottom. And the best they can come up with is late night calls, 3 a.m, heavy breathing, 70s style. So you're actually showing their age as well. But that's the best they can come up with. False allegations about candidates tearing down cornflutes. They're the last ones to go. And middle of next year, people say, what's happening next? Well, we got a month of discomfort until the end of the year. Discomfort in the sense of, discomfort. In the first quarter, things will start to pick up. A lot of revelations will be made. Truth will start to come out. And by the middle of the year, there'll be the military tribunals are going to kick off. They've already been done. Many have already been done and been effected. People have been charged, found guilty and executed. People in Australia, overseas, people in Australia have been arrested, and let's say they're on a holiday spa somewhere. Middle of the year, you'll start to see it, and you'll understand exactly why I don't care about my language and what effect it has upon the pinheads in this country, because the pinheads are going to get a waking like wouldn't believe. But it's the end of the end, because this is it. This is it. Make sure you've got your food and water and your gas bottles fired up. Be ready for a few weeks of not much to do, and then watch the truth be revealed, and you'll understand exactly why we are as exercised as we are about all of these issues, and why when you look in the mirror, you're going to say, what an idiot. I cannot believe I was so stupid, because the evidence will be so overwhelming, and it's coming in the next 6 months. The evidence will be so overwhelming. You will hang your head in shame for the rest of your miserable, selfish, lazy lives.
The proof for you, okay, to give you the strength to have the courage to trust in the plan for the next 6 months, because you're going to see overwhelming proof across the entire earth from the summer of 2017 till now. You're going to see this play itself out. So to make it clear again, CNN is now in control by POTUS, Donald J. Trump. Boris Johnson and the British government is under control of POTUS and the NSA and, the Q plan, the Q group. This is all being run by this group. Every single government on earth, all of them, have capitulated over to Trump. And that's why Trump made, from 2017 to early 2019.
He hit the ground running.
Yes, he did. And he took 6 months to clean the swamp in Washington. And then we're going to start here in a sec. And then he went to Saudi Arabia first because he needed to. There's a reason he went to Saudi Arabia first. And that was the summer of 2017. And that's where this whole story I'm going to tell you today begins. So you're listening and you're just going to walk away from this angry or whatever. But you need to understand, mea culpa. It rests with you. It rests with me. If it wasn't for us being so asleep, none of this would have been allowed to happen. We should have woken up to the milk cartons 30 years ago, 40 years ago, with all of these children going missing. If we live in the most advanced Western world in the history of the world, then what the heck are so many children going missing for, and why are so many kids on milk cartons?
Yeah, the excuse of us being asleep just doesn't cut it when you see what's been taking place right under our nose. It just doesn't cut it.
So I know some of you are going to be very angry with this. All I can say to you is that we are responsible. All of us are responsible for this, and this is, and you just also need to see this as an opportunity. The next 6 months are an opportunity. It's an opportunity for all of you to become the kind of hero that you've always wanted to be in your eyes. Trust in you. Trust in the plan that there are good people fighting against the sickest, most evil people in the creation of evil. Come on. There are good people out there. You get up and be part of this.
They are our tribe.
Absolutely.
Let's support them. We're the digital warriors. Yeah.
And be strong. And be strong for your kids, like so many of you already are. And be that hero. This is your chance. These 6 months is for you to write a new story in your life, and you to become the strong person you've always wanted to be, and the hero that you have always deserved to be. Be strong, not weak. Don't sit back and just go, oh, Trump's going to do everything. No. No more with Bojo playing this role. No more with Matt Hancock. Enough of this. It's your country. It's not theirs. Who are you afraid of? The police? Remember, they get paid by you. The army, they get paid by you. They took oaths to protect you, not their immediate superiors. So be strong. These 6 months are a gift, an opportunity for you. You may not be able to wrap your heads around that, and it is what it is, but it is an opportunity. This is a gift, and we need to take this gift.
And who imagined on January 1st of this year that 2020 would
roll out the way it has. Nobody had any idea of what was coming, but here we are, almost halfway through it. So I think this is a pretty good point for you to take it away and just say what you wanted to say today.
Okay, so let's start first. Everything is about Donald Trump and the abbreviation that you get with Q called D-class or DECLAS. And DECLAS is code or an abbreviation for D-class, and D-class is short for declassify. So the main people behind all of this have been the NSA, because once the military was given access to all of this cameras everywhere and spying technology everywhere,
Access to your cell phone.
and access to everything about you, as soon as that information became available, a group of people within the military said, this is our chance. There is a moment in time and we must act upon this, because what they don't seem to get, and by that meaning the minions who are running things for whoever is hidden in the background, what these minions don't seem to get is that they're just as vulnerable as we are. And so what has been going on, my friends, since 9/11? So remember 9/11, how evil that is, and it was evil. You know, the cremation of care, 11, the twin pillars, that's the two temples of your brain, and 9 is God consciousness, and it was the killing of God on September 11th, 2001. That's the symbology of it, and they were laying out for us in plain sight what they were about to do and finish. And the coronavirus, through 5G towers, 5G wireless, that's right, this wireless signal was their coup de grace, was their kill shot. That was going to be the kill shot for us. And everything went wrong when Hillary didn't win that election. And what you all need to wrap your minds around is that they still to this day don't understand how they lost that election in 2016, November 2016 to Donald Trump. They don't know how, because it was rigged. It was rigged in their favor. The machines were rigged in all the key states. And that's why that Trump actually won in a landslide. If the machines, California, was key states, were all rigged for Clinton. That's why as the night went on, she started to catch up a little bit. No, it was a runaway for Trump across the entire land. But they had it rigged for a massive Hillary victory. And if that had happened, we'd already be in these FEMA camps. We'd already be locked in our homes. Those of us that didn't comply to that would be in FEMA camps or in body bags. So this was it. This is the plan. So it all starts with the symbol declassify. This comes from the NSA. They have been spying on them and they have it all. Nothing can stop this plan. Nothing can stop what's coming, because they have everything. And Julian Assange has been a big player in doing that. And eventually when the truth comes out about Julian Assange, you'll go, oh, I should have noticed that. Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah, I should have picked up on that, but I didn't. So you'll see. I don't want to give too much away. But Assange, number one is declassified.
Was Assange really under arrest, or was that some kind of ruse?
All part of a ruse for the mainstream media to buy into it and to brand him a certain way and stuff. So yeah, he's played a very dangerous role. None of this has been safe and easy for Julian Assange. It hasn't. He's been at risk. He's put himself at risk, but then that whole family has. That whole family has. And there's much more to this family that we're talking about that is yet to come. You don't know all of it yet. You don't know who's coming out next, because there's going to be another person in this family that's going to be able to shine in the coming months, because this is all about technology at the end of the day. So we'll get to that later. Now, number one, so all of this plan, they took all of this information. Trump, by the way, folks, didn't do anything, although Attorney General Barr was placed well in advance to be kind of like a fly on the wall for the CIA. They realized a long time ago from the Kennedys that the CIA was too far gone and too dangerous to try and take down, and too many tentacles out there. So they haven't even tried to take down the CIA. They have just cut them off. The CIA is what it always has been. It's just in plain sight now. They are a rogue agency. They always have been a rogue agency. They exist for the 13 families. That's all they exist for. That's all they answer to. So. But AG Barr was put there as in a special position as a fly on the wall, and he's gleaned a lot of information that has been valuable in helping them understand the CIA's role in all of this and what they were likely to do when this all came down. Okay, so remember that. So D-class is everything because the NSA has everything. Okay, so Trump is armed with everything by June of 2017. So this is only 6 months in office and little underneath that. And Trump has, for the most part, cleaned most of the swamp, restructured the DOJ and the FBI, which is most important, and some other key offices closer to home, closer to the president, were all cleaned up, and the proper people that they had waiting in the wings were put there. Okay, so in the summer of 2017, it began. Where did Trump go first? He went to Saudi Arabia. And there he went and paid a visit to the Crown Prince. Now, let me just go back, and I apologize to everyone because I just have had so many names in my head here. But Al-Walid it was the Crown Prince at that time. Now he got right into the whole adrenochrome thing and the harvesting of children, and Saudi Arabia began to put in massive tunnel networks underneath the ground. This is all because this Al-Walid got sucked in by the Cabal, the 13 families, as a huge player, one of the three main arms of their weaponry. So he was exalted with enormous power amongst the minions. Al-Walid became one of the key minions by going really evil. And there are a lot of Saudis that didn't like this. They knew what was going on and they didn't like it. You can say whatever you want about some of their other beliefs and stuff, but there's a lot of people that draw lines with children. And so that's what he did, and this is why he needed to be taken down. And there are articles everywhere. You do your own research. The CBS News even did an article, and we're talking about weeks after Trump came and on his visit in July of 2017 to Saudi Arabia. After Trump left, that's when the arrests happened, and Al-Walid was arrested, taken down, and in his place was bin Salman. And bin Salman is somebody who was not okay with what Al-Walid was doing. Now, a bit of a backstory quickly here, because we got so much to go through, but Al-Walid is the one that sort of handpicked Barack Obama as somebody that they could work with and exalt into power, and he's the guy that funded. And that's why Obama has this real kind of Muslim background, and sort of the whole Middle Eastern kind of thing with his name and all of it, is because it was this Crown Prince Al-Walid of Saudi Arabia that decided to make Obama the one that they were going to turn into this linchpin of U.S. presidents. And so he funded Obama. And so Obama, if you're not aware of this, as a kid, Obama was passed around as a sex toy at some of these bigger gatherings of powerful men, and so he was sodomized, and so it explains a lot about Barack Obama, but it doesn't excuse him for anything. But just suffice to know that he had a rough upbringing, for sure, and so he was ripe for the picking, and they chose him, and so Al-Walid funded him, And this is the same Saudi crown prince that got Saudi Arabia heavily invested into adrenochrome and child trafficking and the setup and the murder of all of these children for adrenochrome. So when Trump arrived in the summer of 2017, he laid out all of the documents. That's what they did to everyone. They had folders, and the folders had all the documents. There were photographs. They came with discs, CDs, and DVDs, and the CDs and DVDs had fantastic production value, and it had all of their footage doing the most horrific things. The NSA has it all on all of these people.
The full video is out there online, and I encourage you to dive in and do your own research. It's crucial to understand the influence of the 13 Cabal families who have been orchestrating chaos and manipulating our world for their own gain. These powerful entities have a hand in everything from politics to finance, keeping humanity in a state of enslavement. Knowledge is our weapon, and by sharing this information, we can shine a light on their actions. So, like and subscribe for more insights, and let's work together to expose the truth.
Donald Trump didn't just re-emerge. He took control of a monumental shift in our financial landscape. Behind the scenes, the quantum financial system has been activated, a revolutionary digital framework designed to dismantle central banking's grip and empower the people. This isn't just a reboot. It's a strategic reset, a countermeasure against the elite's plans. While the world is caught up in media distractions, this digital Noah's Ark is quietly coming online, ready to reshape our economic future. Beneath the surface, in places like the Vatican, monumental changes are unfolding, signaling a new era of financial sovereignty.
On out there, this is how it's going to play out. And this is on the financial end of it, okay? Everything else really doesn't mean anything. Really, it's about all the finances and who holds the money, or who holds the gold, has the power. So, and the power, just so we know, Trump is the man that said, and he's delivered everything he's promised, but he has said right from the beginning, he's going to take power from the establishment and give it back to the people. That means he's going to take the gold, take everything that they have stolen from you, the people of this world, and give it back to you. Protocol 1. All banks and banking related debts, including mortgages, loans, and credit cards, are being wiped out permanently. This is not a reset, or I guess this is a reset, not a bailout. The system was illegal right from the start. Protocol 2. Income taxes are being abolished. No more IRS raids, no more CIR or CRA raids in Canada or anywhere else that has tax departments. Are being abolished. No more wage theft, which is income tax theft. In its place, there will be a 14% flat tax on luxury items only. Food, medicine, and housing are untaxed and protected. Protocol 3. The IRS, CRA in Canada, and other income tax departments are being shut down, and its agents reassigned to overseas fair taxation under the Treasury Authority, which is constitutional, not corporate fiat enforcers. The fiat is dead, okay? As I said before, no matter what Trump says, it's gone.
I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. It means a lot to me to share these moments with you. Every video is a chance to explore new ideas and dive into topics that spark curiosity. Your support fuels my passion and keeps the creativity flowing. I love hearing your thoughts and feedback, so keep them coming. Remember, Every view and comment helps build this amazing community. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and stay curious. Thanks again for being part of this journey.